Hello and welcome to VLearn Virtual Learning Network. This is session 23 of Administrative Theory, Centralization and Decentralization. Topics to be covered: Introduction, Meaning of Centralization, Meaning of Decentralization, Types of Decentralization, Factors affecting centralization and decentralization, merits and demerits of centralization, merits and demerits of decentralization. Now the another concept of management, another techniques to be followed in the management. This is what one of the important area to be considered if we were discussing about hierarchy. If you're discussing about the commands, the unity of commands, at the same time getting the ideas about the span of control. So in that case, this is one of the another related topic of this concept. This is centralization and decentralization. Centralization and decentralization are very important concept of the organization. They explains the manner in which the decisions makes authority is basically distributed. At the same time, delegated among the various levels of the organization. In this session, we will also going to have a discussion about the meaning, importance and factors affecting the centralization and decentralization. So yes, if we talk about the centralization and decentralization, it simply means that providing the authorities and yes, providing the proper flow of distribution or delegations of authority. किस तरीके से अथॉरिटी यूनिटी ऑफ कमांड्स के थ्रू फर्दर पास ऑन होगी, किस तरीके से एक अथॉरिटी जो है दैट इज व्हाट बेसिकली डेलीगेटेड and retained by a person for itself. So that's basically comes the working of the centralization and decentralization. It's truly on the basis of the important concept of the organization. This concept is basically performed for the well-being of the organization, to provide the proper flow of the organization and what method is required to be performed in the organization. Meaning of centralization. Centralization is what, as the word states, central. That means the concentration of a formal authority at the top level of the organization. That is what it is when the top management focused on the particular working, or they come up with the decision making or activities to be performed in that concept. That is what they have all the authorities, they have all the controls, they maintained all the factors or the supervisions required in the employees. So in that case, this thing is basically stated that centralization. So that is why it's a tendency aimed at centralized performance. That is what ये एक वो उस तरीके की tendency है या factors हैं through which the person can centralize and performed. So hence there is the opposite of the dispersal and delegations of authority. It has an important bearing on the processes of information, formulation and making decisions making basically. They basically wants to get the ideas about how to perform the policies, how to bringing out the decisions making, as we state that's top management if decides something, come up with the new ideas or form something, controlling authorities or controlling part. This is what the overall structure of the organization. It's very much controlled, very much centralized, because all the policy formulations and decisions making are up to the employees part. So these two major areas of management or administrations are the reserved for the top management in the centralized organization. And at the lower level of the organization, hierarchy always look upward for the directions, advice, clarifying and interpretation. So this is what the major area, that to centralize the concept, to reserve the concept. At the lower level of organization, hierarchy always look upward. That is what at the lower level the person is always looked to perform on the another scenario. That is why the centralization can be regarded as the concentration of a physical facilities or the decisions making authority. This is always related to the all central, all facilities which the authoritative person have. So that is Henry Froels while talking of the decentralization and centralization. They basically observe that everything that goes to increase the importance of subordinate, that is decentralization, and everything which goes up to decrease it, that is centralization. That Froels simply, on a very simple words, they suggest the decentralization and centralization. Decentralization is a technique which gives the improvement in the subordinate work, in the subordinate performance, and centralized means which actually decreased or demoralized all the authorities and powers of the subordinates. Now, what is decentralization? That is when you delegate, when you transfer, when you passes your authorities, your rights. So the term delegation is understood differently by different individual or a group. So Lewis A. Allen refers to it as one of the most confused and confusing of the administrative technique. So basically in this, the Lewis A. Allen suggested that the most of the techniques are confused and confusing the administrative techniques, and they basically characterize the art and science of the professional management. They basically discussed about the decentralization work gives the more technical work, because if we decentralized the concept or decentralize the work, then that will lead to have the people understandings to perform according to that and lead them to perform well. So it has been an opinion that the decentralization refers to the physical locations of facilities, and they basically provides the extent of disposal of the authority throughout an organization, that always related to require the physical locations, physical workings of the facilities and of the techniques. And at the same time, they worked on to extend that they are worked on to bringing out the proper authorities throughout an organization. Hence, it is an arrangement by which the ultimate authority to the command and the ultimate responsibility for the result is localized in unit located in the different part of the countries. So it argues that assigning the function and responsibility of their effective and efficient performance to the subordinate and subdivision is essential to the decentralization. That's very true. If we talk about the today's organization or the today's working, there was a multinational concept. The organizations are expanding to the very vastly. In that case, they have the very high responsibilities, very high authorities according to the localized part and the localized divisions of the areas. So in that localized areas and localized part, there was required that yes, employees, or we can say that the subordinate performed according to their market environment, their localized areas, localized concept. For that thing, the organization required to adopt the decentralization. Decentralization basically covers the political view. We can say that decentralization covered the political and legal administrative spheres of authority. They are always related to the political and legal administrative work. 4 types of decentralization was there. One is administrative, another is functional, another is political and geographical. Administrative decentralization is basically discussing about the administrative part. They are more towards the administrative concepts, administratives working, whereas we can say that it refers to the decentralization of authority to the lower officials, that is to perform the decentralization working of the authorities. And yes, it also means to decentralizing the power or the functions. That is when some person is decentralizing the powers and the functions of the subordinate unit, automatically that person is delegating or decentralizing the administrative part. Functional decentralization implies that functions are decentralized in the specialized unit and department like education and health. Now this is related to the functions. That is related to the performance of the function, how function is performing, how function is doing. So in that case, it is always required to work on the decentralized and specialized unit also to bringing out the proper functions. आप functions यानी एक डिपार्टमेंट का काम भी उस पर्सन को दे सकते हो who can perform well according to that function. Then another is political decentralization. Political decentralization means it is related to the decentralizations of the political concepts of the political working. That किस तरीके से एक पॉलिटिकल सिनेरियोस पर काम किया जाएगा जब हम किसी भी पावर्स के साथ साथ अथॉरिटीज के साथ साथ फंक्शंस को भी आगे पास ऑन करते हैं. सो दैट्स कम्स इनटू पॉलिटिकल डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन. Whereas geographical decentralization is related to जब आप एक पर्टिकुलर एरिया को डिसेंट्रलाइज कर देते हो to the another person. So that comes into the geographical decentralization. That's stated in the definition also. It is a power and function of headquarters are decentralized to the field officers for the effective performance. Factor affecting centralization and decentralization. What are the factors who affects these centralization and decentralization? First, the two extreme of the operations of authority are relative terms. They need to be viewed as a complementary to each other, as in a fair combination of the two results in stability, accountable efficiency and effectiveness. So that is what they are basically performing into the two different powers and two extremes of the working. They basically perform to get an ideas about the what exactly going in the organization, how authority is performed. They never be viewed as a complementary to each other, but they come up with the stability part, that how to bring out stability, how to bring out ability, accountability, how to make the work of the organization efficient and effective. So their application in the democratic setup world depends on the objective of the organization. It's always, if we talk about the centralization and decentralization, that's always depends on the structure of the organization, nature of the service in which they were dealing. So in that case, if structure is small, never be a decentralization is performed. There are always a centralization work. Yes, on the other way, if the structure is large, so centralization is rarely performed. It is always a decentralization is performed in the organization. Nature is also, if the employees are playing the major role in the organization, so they must have authority to be followed. They must have proper rights to work on. For this, they required certain centralization and decentralizations. Then two such major functions are initiations and decision making in relation to the basic management functions like planning, organizing, motivating, coordinating and controlling the work of subordinate as a field unit. So the higher level, by performing the function of initiating and decision making, strengths to receive the real authority at the central point of organization. So it is always related to the major function, or they're always the work of how to take an initiative, how to work on the different decisions making concept, how to plan the thing, organize the thing, motivate the things, coordinate all the work, how to control these things. To subordinate are also with the field unit. So they are always in a higher level by performing functions. So there was n number of functions to be performed, and that will lead to the central point of the organization. At the same time, it basically gets the clear ideas about influenced by a factor more than one. So in modern time, when we have a multiplicity of administration and political organization, we required, or we can say that organization required the centralization and decentralization pattern in the business. That is a prerequisite of a welfare or the service state. There has been a growing public opinion in the favor of decentralization. But yes, at the same time, the political force and bureaucracy do not favor decentralization system. They, as we already said that yes, structure of the company also influence the centralization and decentralization. So the another factor is the pattern of authority also. What exactly the authority is, how it's going to be flowed, this is all depends on the factor affecting. So that is always a prerequisite of welfare and service state. If it's required to come up with the good public opinion, so it is always required the decentralization, proper working and time of some political forces in the work. And in that case, if we talk about the government organizations are less centralized, decentralized. They are basically more believing in the decentralization system and theories. Now, merits and demerits of centralization. The first is it is easier to develop the uniform policy and practice in a centralized organization. Moreover, it can effectively achieve a conformity to the prescribed procedure and can bring about a better coordination amongst the various units and the level of organization. If we talk about the organizations, yes, it is very easy to work on the centralized organization. But in it is always required to achieve the conformity, that the person is confirmed that whatever is done, it's according to the goals and scenarios of the organization. Another is a system added to the prestige and influence the top executive. A system is more towards the prestige part, more towards how to influence the others also. So authority being concentrate at the top level, and it is easy to identify the key person. Now another is if the process of centralization is straightened, duplication in the administrative organization can be avoided. If there was a straight supervision, state working, so automatically the duplication is less. At the same time, they are more towards the working or better working of the organization. Then centralized organization develop a corporate personality by enabling the full utilization of personnel and the equipment in organization. It is always there that it is related to the full utilization of personnel, that equipment to be used. Now demerits. Demerits, the first demerit is the centralization does not allow the development of social line and of the executive, as all the lower level are more dependent on the orders of the directions to the top executive. So they never be dependent on that concept. They are always dependent on the higher authority. So dependency on the top executive is higher on their orders and directions. The another is concept of centralization work. There is possibility of diversification and expansions of the organization. The local need of the organization cannot be understood. Maybe because the boss is not localizedly performed. So they are unable to understand what is local requirements of the audience. Then other is there is a minimum use of concept of delegation of authority, because real authority always lies on the top level of the organization. So minimum use hota hai delegations ka, which is always required. Another is as a subordinate has to approach the superior for taking even minor decisions. So the work in the organization suffers and unnecessary delays is caused. So yes, if very high centralization is there, so organization suffers. They are unable to get the decisions. They are very much indulged in the minor decisions only. So that will always affect the organization working. Then other is merits and demerits of decentralization. A decentralization organization is more responsive to the need and demand of the local area. That's very true. Where the centralization organization unable to understand the localized view, because superior is not on that scenarios, because subordinate perform in localized area. But yes, in the decentralized organization, subordinate is aware about all these concepts, which the subordinate passes to the higher authority. So automatically they are more responsive, more aware about the needs and demands of the audience and real problem, what is exactly the real problem is. Then other is delegation of authority is an essential aspect of the decentralized organization also. The higher level of organization share their authority with the lower level organization. There was also there that it is always that higher level sharing is very high, and sharing is help the organization to perform better. The decentralized organization encourage the innovations, because people indulge in organization tasks, organization lead them to come up with the new ideas, to come up with the new things. That things will lead the organization employees to best towards their working, and they lead to the more innovative and more expansive audience and the work of the organization. What are the decentralization? Decentralizations are basically the various levels become difficult. At a time, the message communicated from top become maybe blur or changed. Yes, because the channel is increased. So there was an n number of channels through which the information goes up and comes down. So in that case, this probably leads to the loss of message, loss of information. Another demerit is it was difficult to introduce the effective system for the coordination both at a policy making and policy implementation. Yes, we are unable to perform on the very effective system. एक बहुत अच्छे effective system में perform नहीं कर पा सकते. Overlapping and duplication may be there. That is one of the biggest problem in decentralization, that work may be overlapped. It may become difficult to maintain desired uniformity of the work. There may be not as good standard because every person is according to their skills and their understanding. So there probably no standardized work. Then another is decentralized system necessarily result in the high cost of their operational activity also. That your operational activities got rise. So that is what another factor in the demerits of decentralization. So now there are a few questions which you have to do it yourself, that for what is centralization and in what way does it differ from decentralization and what are major advantages of decentralization. So this is all about today's session. We are winding up here. Thank you so much. Happy learning. We learn.